want everybody from this moment on to recognize me as the scholar of boxing.
That's it, Jim. The ropes when he got hit there with the beautiful shot back at Tony. That's the right hand. Leans back and throws with a right hand.
Most people don't know shit about boxing
At all. Did you get what you were looking for?
In a lot of James Toney's fights, he would try to catch his opponent going cold. Right here, he comes out, shuffles forward, and then goes to the side and then catches him with a left hook. But if we put more of a microscope on it, we could see the subtle things that he does before he does that. Like I said, it's a common move of James. Now, mind you, this is the first 30 seconds of the fight. James Toney comes out and he fakes like he's going to do something to the body. And he gets his opponent to reach down with his right hand and block the body shot. And then he just comes over the top and lands a left hook. Like I said, this is a common move of James Toney. If you look at a lot of his earlier fights, he would come out and try to land this move. Because James Toney, believe it or not, he was a fighter. He was born to fight, like he said, and he wouldn't have a lot of nerves in the opening round like a lot of fighters. So he would attempt to move. Here's another look at it. Guy comes out lackadaisical, probably nervous as shit. James Toney, he goes right for the kill at the beginning of the fight. One of the things that make him the best. Right here in the inside, the guy goes for a right hook, and James Toney counters that right hook with an uppercut, but he misses. And the uppercut is just short. It's just short because James Toney threw it too short. But his opponent doesn't even react. He doesn't even react to the uppercut because he doesn't see it. He's staring down the barrel of a shotgun and can't even react to the bullets. So what does he do? He barrels his head into James Toney's chest and tries to land a right hook. James Toney blocks it, but he makes a note of that, right? So what he does then, he puts his glove on his glove so he can feel when he's throwing it, throws a short left hook in between his wide right hook and lands his shot and blocks his shot with his elbow. That's what I mean by James Toney being a genius inside the ring with his decision making. Now James Toney knows he's going to throw the right hook again. He waits for him to throw the right hook and then counters with an uppercut to his chest to create space and then a left hook. So the uppercut to move him just back so he can land a short left hook, and then he misses with the uppercut. And when he misses with the uppercut, like I said, it barely misses. What does he do? This time, he throws a left hook to move his head where he needs his head to be, and then throws an uppercut again. And this uppercut lands and does a lot of damage, where the left hook barely partially lands with the elbow, and he's already shook, and the referee has had enough. He's seen enough to step in and give him the count. Like I said, very smart. He threw the uppercut and then missed, and then he throws a left hook to get his head right in a place to where the uppercut won't miss this time. It'll land. Throwing punches with purpose and making moves on purpose. Watch this. You remember the left hand he landed in the first 30 seconds of the fight? His opponent does, because James Toney shuffles his feet forward and then drops down like he's going to throw a left hook to the head. He's a big opening for the uppercut, and James Toney fakes like he's going to throw it. He drops down and he lands the uppercut and then turns it into a left hook. So he fakes like he's going to throw the left hook to the head like he did at the beginning. His opponent reacts. He turns it to an uppercut and then a left hook. Then his opponent throws his head into James Toney and just tries to push him back, and that becomes a habit of his. And James Toney is downloading that data. He's remembering it because that sequence ultimately led to him getting stopped by James Toney. And you guys with your educated eyes, tell me, have you ever seen anything remotely close to this? James Toney angles off and draws his opponent's right hand out. And his opponent throws his right hand too long, and somewhere along the line he realized he's not going to land. So James Toney was going to roll and counter that, but instead he throws the counter shot to his chest because he realized he's not going to land to his head. And he knocks him off balance, and he creates just enough space for him to turn to a southpaw position, duck up under his left hand, his left hook, right? He ducks up under that shot, right? Makes him keep falling forward with his momentum, ducks up under that shot. Now he's in an orthodox stance, already positioned to make a punch miss or land a punch in a superior position. And then what does he elect to do? He elects, since this guy keeps dipping his head down, he knows it, he lands a left hook to steer his head right where he needs it to be, and then meets him with an uppercut, drives his head up and back into the left hook. Now he's going to use his offense to transition into defense. He throws a right hand at the end and then switches his stance again to southpaw. Now he's in a superior position. His opponent has his head down. He steers him into the ropes where his back was once against the ropes, sends him into the ropes with a left hook for his trebles, and now his back is against the ropes, and James Toney now has a superior position. So what he does is he feints his opponent and then gets him to react, and then jabs him to the stomach and probes again. Then he comes in with a hard feint. Look how he reacts to that feint. And James Toney knows he has him. So what he does is he stabs him to the body, and then he comes upstairs and tries to pull his guard down, and his opponent knows the right hand's coming because he's trying to pull his guard down. So what does the opponent do? He rolls and ducks up under the right hand to smother the right hand. What does James Toney do? Toney takes a step back, pins him down with the left forearm so his head is in positioning, tracks his head down, and then lands a short right hook, and then followed by a left hook, a short left hook. And then now that his opponent's falling back, he shows him the right hand while he's on the ropes, and then gives him a hard foot feint to get him to react and fall in, think the right hand is coming again, and then he lands a short right hand over the top of his shoulder, and then he controls him with the right hand and steers him into the uppercut with his left hand. Like I said, punches with purpose. And after he does that, he misses with the left hook because his punches are so short and accurate, but he follows right back up with the left hook, and that's the punch that ends up knocking him out. But James Toney's punches are so short that you have to get different camera angles just to capture him. Like right there, he lands a short left hook, and then he sends him back to the ropes, give him that hard feint. Then with his lead hand, he pulls him into the right hand and lands a short right hand over the top of the shoulders. And look how short it is. It gets his head to move. And then watch, when James Toney takes a step back and he runs him into the uppercut, watch this. The right hook is so short that he skims him and still makes his cheek move. Like slicing a thin slice of bread. That's how short his punches are. And then he comes and finishes him off with the left hook. But like I said, James Toney's punches are so short that you have to get different camera angles just to catch him. If you have the camera at the wrong angle, you might miss the punch. Here's another angle. It takes a hard feint, lands the right hand over the shoulder while pulling him in to the punch with his left hand, and then he takes a step back, puts his arm on his shoulder to control him, and then runs him into an uppercut. And after he throws the uppercut, he misses barely with the right hook. See, he puts the arm. Notice how short the finishing left hook is. It's right on the button at the edge of the chin. Get full force and full knockout. He don't have to load up to get a ton of power, and he still gets the reaction that he wants. It's either James Toney or Muhammad Ali is the greatest fighter of all time. From transitioning from offense to defense, throwing punches with purpose, getting the looks that he wants, the high IQ. I mean, he has it all. If you think somebody outside of Ali is greater than James Toney, leave a comment in the comment section and tell me why. Don't just feel. But anyway, it's the Boxing Scholar, and I'm out.